that. I'm gonna say that right now.
There we go. Full screen. And I always like to record it just in case I lose it.
Recording in progress.
Nice. Got it.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts? Finding out how to get on more of these places. This is the Wrestlespot podcast, episode 6. So today we're going to talk about Summerslam, talk a little bit about Ric Flair's last match because I want to get their opinion. And we're even going to talk about how we all jumped on this app together. But first we'll do the introductions. Ramondo, you want to start off?
Yeah, how you guys doing? My TikTok handle and Instagram is Odinamore. It's just Ramondo backwards. So it's quite simple. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, bro.
Problem, man.
I appreciate it.
Tommy, you want to go next?
Ooh, yeah. So what's up, y'all? Tommy Impact here. I believe, my TikTok handle is also Tommy Impact, but you can also find me on Twitter, super active on there. I'm new to the space, so hello everyone. But yeah, I'm ready.
Not just his debut on this podcast, his first podcast. So I got a little exclusive right there. All right, Steven.
Oh yeah.
My name's Steven. My TikTok or anything I want to find me on is at Steven Sports Studios. And that's it. That's pretty much it.
Real quick, I do want to ask you, Steven. You used to do edits. Like, what made you want to switch?
Just because I wanted to just kind of really, I always wanted to do like content like Theo and all that, but editing was like really what blew me up. So I wanted to keep capitalizing on that. But I think now I'm ready to like branch out and start doing other kind of style content.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So we're gonna get into the SummerSlam predictions, but while we get people in the chat, we'll just talk a little bit about ourselves. I do want to start by asking. We'll start with Ramondo. What got you on that, man?
So, always been a wrestling fan from a very young age. And I think I've talked about this before. So one thing I do want to say, I'm a huge mental health advocate because I've gone through my fair share of struggles and I've seen people. I lost one of my closest friends while I was in the Navy. And there was a point in time that I was gonna check out myself, and I was like ready to do the deed. I was on post, I had a weapon and everything, and where I was gonna go do the deed, I was looking at through YouTube, and I used to watch a lot of wrestling videos, and The Rock's Team Bring It promo came on when he was talking about "We Are Team Bring It," and I like bawled like a baby while I was watching it on my phone. I was overseas, and I was like, I am Team Bring It. So I had a little corny moment, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I like to. Every time somebody asks me why I love wrestling, and I say legitimately, The Rock has no idea, but The Rock legitimately saved my life, because that was in I think 2016 when I came across that video, and it's 2022. So yeah, and then my cousin is actually Lince Dorado. A couple people know that, but Lince is my cousin, and I was talking about it one time with him, and he was just like, "Yeah, bro, you should try it." So I figured, let me start on TikTok, because I feel like that's the easiest way to get exposure where people can actually see my stuff and kind of judge me for me, as opposed to Instagram, where sometimes you kind of put up a front. You know what I mean? I feel like you can be the most authentic self, your authentic self on TikTok, as opposed to like the other platforms. So that's the long-winded of why I'm here.
Thank you for your service, of course.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Tommy, you want to go next?
Oh boy. Yeah. So really, I'm gonna say honestly, I just started, I guess, TikToking. Again, I think really honestly, like 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more than that. Honestly, what got me into it though, really was just I don't know. I wanted to put my thoughts out there, because I think about it a lot. So I just think about wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, let me just put my thoughts somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried a couple platforms. I tried Spotify in terms of just speaking. I mean, that didn't. I mean, I'm still working on that one. But so I was like, let me take it to TikTok. Try TikTok. I was like, this is super. It's just convenient, because it's just on the phone, ready to go at all times. So
simple, right?
Yeah, it's simple, right?
Yeah.
Simplest way to get out there. Well, I like to think so. Simplest way to get out there. But yeah, as far as just the wrestling side, I've been watching wrestling since 2007.
15 years.
2007. I think that was WrestleMania 23 year. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not
23.
Sure.
23.
Yeah, 23. Okay, yeah. Because
what was the main event on that one?
The main event on that one wasn't it John Cena and Shawn?
Yep.
Did they main event that show?
Nice.
Good memory.
They did? Okay, cool. But yeah, believe it or not, that's not the marquee match from that Mania that made it like stick out. At least not that grasped my attention in wrestling. It was actually Batista and Undertaker.
No shit.
Yeah, crazy, right? That
That's
one
awesome.
championship match. I don't know what it was about that feud.
Yeah.
About that match, but I don't know, because I feel like that one's not talked about much. Because again, that's not one of his greatest feuds, as in the Undertaker. It's not one of his greatest, but for some reason that one really stuck out to me at that time. And then since then, it was just ever since I've just been stuck. I will say I did take a brief pause in 2013. It was getting a little iffy in the Fed and the WWE. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Yeah,
good, man. I like it. Steven?
What got me to doing content? Honestly, it wasn't even wrestling. It was just sports in general. I started to post content on YouTube, and I decided, you know what, let me give TikTok a try, because at the time TikTok was kind of a big thing. This is back in like 2021. And originally I was posting like NFL content, but at the time I decided, you know what, let me give this wrestling thing a try, because I had seen Narcolepsy had posted a video. I was like, oh, like he's a really big content creator in the wrestling community.
Right.
So I just started to kind of post a little bit of edits. Like I would do a lot of hot takes and things like that. And then I started to see like my content just grow and grow and grow. And I decided, like I'm gonna actually start really taking it seriously. And ever since then, I just kind of blew up after that. At that point,
I will say real quick, first thing, your edits were the thing that caught me to your content first, and I was like, oh, this guy's pretty. This guy's cool.
I was checking your stuff out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. The edits definitely caught my eye. I'm not gonna lie. That is definitely caught my eye.
I like it, man. I like it.
Do you find it easy, Steven, like to do your content? I mean, to do your editing? Is it like something you had to pick up or like...
Yeah, no, it was definitely something I had to pick up because if you actually go back, like you would see my edits were horrible.
Really?
Yes, they were really horrible, but I started to learn as I go from other editors and stuff like that. And now I think I'm like at a stage where I'm like, all right, I'm pretty good at this. I think I'm good enough.
That is the way. That is the best way to do it, man. Just learn as you go type stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, so now it's just like, now I'm kind of really fully invested into the wrestling community overall.
Some solid people.
Mm-hmm. Really cool people, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how I got into like content creating.
I like it, man.
Or in wrestling in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Guess I'll tell my little story, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're the one. Yeah, out of everybody, I want to
wait on this one.
So mine.
Natural.
Okay, so I'd always been like wanting to, get on any sort of social media and just talk about wrestling, because I can't remember a time in my life where I didn't like wrestling, if I'm being honest. Because I even have like, my mom will show me pictures. I got like, I'm in my diaper and I'm doing like the Rock's pose or something. So I don't know. I can't remember a time I didn't like wrestling and I always wanted to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
So this year I ended up going to WrestleMania with my brother.
No way.
Oh, you went to this past WrestleMania?
Yeah, I ended up going to WrestleMania this year, and I was having like the time of my life. And I got back. I don't know what it was. I just felt like this, going back to like regular, like I don't want to say regular life, but like regular life. You got to go to class and all that every day.
Yeah.
I just felt like this like deep, like, oh man, this is. I want to be doing something. I don't know what it is. I wanted to be doing something, but so I was like, you know what? Let me just create this account. I'm not gonna lie. The first name of my account was called Sports and Entertainment Spot, but because I was like, oh, okay, I don't really plan on doing much with it. I'll just have it, And then I was like, you know what? Let me just turn it into the Wrestlespot. And I just posted like maybe like one to two matches every day for like 5 days, and then I was just chilling with my girlfriend, and then my notifications just started blowing up. And
really?
I don't know. I was like, okay. Ever since then, I just couldn't stop. I just wanted to make more and more stuff. And
it happened to me too.
Right. It's addicting with this content.
Once you
but that's like what we were talking about before we came on. Is like you have because you're going to college for kinesiology, but you have such a natural, like I've seen your stuff. So the way you talk to people, the way you interview, the way you speak about the craft, it's just a natural, like cadence to what you're just naturally good at this shit. So it's good to see it. Like, yeah.
I appreciate that. And as far as like the podcast starting up, I had always wanted to do a podcast because my dad put me on the podcast, just like regular podcasts. I was like, okay, maybe there's a wrestling podcast, and sure as hell there's wrestling podcasts out there. So I was like, okay, and I couldn't get enough of it. I'm not gonna lie, there was a point where I was listening to more wrestling podcasts than I was listening to music.
Yeah,
I was just listening to podcasts every day. I was like, man, if I could try this, I want to try it. So I DM'd, because I remember Suplex was talking about he was looking for someone to do a podcast with. So I was like, let me shoot my shot and let me just ask him for some advice on this.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
I asked him. He was like, the main thing you could take away from what he told me, I'm gonna tell everybody just to pay it forward. You're not gonna learn how to do anything without just doing it. So as far as the podcast, he was like, you're not gonna learn how to do it without just sitting down and recording an episode. So I ended up doing that with a little series on YouTube I called A Convo with the Fans for the Fans, and I got guys like Donnie Blaze. I ended up actually getting Suplex on it, which was really cool. And
that's what's up.
I mean, we're only 6 episodes in, but I'm hoping this lasts for a long time, and it's cool to be able to talk to people all the time.
I think what you're doing is pretty cool because your stuff is good, man. And you have how long have you been on TikTok?
A few days after WrestleMania, so like 3-4 months now.
Right. So, bro, you're already in the 8,000s. That's 8,000 human beings that give a shit of what you got to say. Give or take a couple hundred bots, right? Because I always say I have 2,100. I always say I got 2,000 human beings, 100 bots, bro. Like, but that's still, bro. If you could get 5 people to listen to what you have to say and actually enjoy what you have to say or what you bring to the table, that's a big deal. Like, Tommy, you got how many right now? 77.
Yeah, honestly.
Right. Yeah, because I was looking at your stuff, but you're brand new to the game. But that is 77 human beings that want to hear what you got to
Yeah.
say. You know what I mean? And I think
Tommy has some supporters in the
says
chat right
something.
now.
Hey! Oh,
There
I
you
have
go.
all people up chat. I'm about
That's
to
a
look
big
at.
deal, bro. That and I like that, man, because I think when I first started, the first person I ever spoke to, period, was Lex Wheezy Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
She's the first person I ever spoke to, and she gave me the best advice. She was just like, have fun with it and forget what people say. Malik told me the same thing. Ty Suplex told me the same thing. Johnny B-Boy,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm talking about? Johnny B-Bop. Sorry, I said B-Boy. But there's just so many good people. Even the new guys. Dad Hat is a cool cat, man. There's just a lot of you get your, I'm not going to name drop the toxic ones, but you get your occasional, little bit of toxicity in it. But there's so many good people. That wrestling lady, that wrestling couple. I could drop names for days, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just a solid group of people here. So I'm glad. Like, I don't no regrets.
No regrets.
No.
Yeah, just a little like piece of thing. Whenever I started doing this, and I was just like making the content for like the same 5 people. I remember I telling my girlfriend,
But that's okay. Those are the same 5.
I was telling my girlfriend,
bro.
I was like, whether it's just these 5 people for the rest of my page, and maybe I lose one.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna keep making it for them because they like it, and I like doing it for them. So
you know what,
That's
dude? I made a video the other day talking because I'm huge on mental health, and I made a video because Patty in the UFC, he was talking about how if you ever need to talk to somebody, and I made a video about that. If anybody needs to talk, and I think it got like a couple hundred views, but only like 9 likes, right? But it got 1 inbox. One person hit me up on Instagram like, yo, I saw your video. And I asked permission before I share this, but I saw your video. Dude, I'm having some rough times. You said you went through some rough stuff. How'd you get through it? And we talked for a little bit. One person. So if I can help one person with some rough times, bro, that's all, bro.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. So I say that, like, if anybody, I know we're live and stuff, if anybody ever needs to talk, I'm always here to listen, bro. There's something about talking to a stranger that is sometimes it's so easy to talk to a stranger and just let out your shit to a stranger. So I'll be that stranger.
It is, yeah.
And
my bad. I'm off that.
Oh, you're good. And if you're ever thinking of just wanting to get into this, just pick up your phone and just introduce yourself.
Bro, just do it.
That's it.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just do it. Nike said it. Just do it.
What Tommy said. Right?
That's it.
But yeah, that's a little bit about us. These are great guys, great creators. But let's talk about. Okay, let's get a little bit into Dynamite first. What did y'all think of this episode? If y'all whoever watched it.
I watched.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
I pretty much watched the whole show. I ain't gonna lie, I almost fell asleep for a lot of it. Like, it wasn't that great of a show, and I don't even watch AEW like that as often. Like, I usually just catch up on what's going on, like on Twitter.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that great. The only thing I liked was the Christian Cage and Jungle Boy segment, and the main event, Daniel Garcia versus Bryan Danielson. That match was an absolute banger.
It had to be, bro. I didn't see it, but just those two, it had to be.
Oh yeah.
It was okay show. Nothing too special. I mean, it is AEW Dynamite. Tony is the one booking it, so ain't nothing gonna be too special. But at least Thunder Rosa got some time though, because Tony don't
say it with your chest, boy.
Bro. Tony, I don't know what people like about Tony so much, but bro, the stuff that he's doing is blasphemous to me.
There is something to be. He's a fan, bro. So I think booking as a fan, I think there is something to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's kind of messing up Dynamite, because y'all remember Christian Cage had what's his name? Not Jungle Boy, but his partner. I forgot his name. Luchasaurus. Yeah, he had him join Christian Cage. I thought that was something big, but he had him turn on him for what?
I feel like they could have extended. They could have put more into that story. I agree, but Christian Cage's heel work. I mean, his heel work.
I ain't gonna lie.
A1, bro. His. I knew he could cut a promo. I always knew he was good on the mic, but he's vicious. Like his delivery, obviously what they talk about, what he said had to be talked about beforehand, but his promo delivery is absolutely vicious. Like you really think he's wearing a turtleneck, bro. Like
The turtleneck.
Yeah, Johnny B Boy, man. Dude, don't get him started on a turtleneck. We about to do a podcast. Everybody got to wear a turtleneck, Christian K style.
I got you, bro. I got you. I
He's
like this. Bro, I don't know. But it's crazy because back to what Steven was saying about Tony Khan and his booking, you can definitely tell he's booking like as a fan, right?
Exactly.
But
that's what hurt him in the long run. I'm telling you.
You think so?
I'm gonna let you go.
The slander is killing me. But it's like, so just give me an example. So other than that Luchasaurus thing, because again, I don't like it. He should have been heel with Christian a little bit longer. Luchasaurus, that is.
Right.
So other than that, was there anything else? Because one segment of a whole show, you can't even, come on, you know?
He's right.
But like his overall booking, like I think his problem is he's booking. See, this is why I always tell people Vince is probably the greatest booker in wrestling. Because listen, Tony, he books for matches that's gonna. He don't book for storytelling. He books for what's going to sell in terms of what's going to be a 5-star match. At least with Vince, he books for storytelling along the way. Like for example, why you have Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, a main event caliber match on free TV.
Yes.
That's not something you fit on TV.
Nah, I'm just playing.
I appreciate it on free TV, but that's something you fit on a pay-per-view. Like his
but sometimes you gotta so pay-per-views are a big deal, right? But not everyone's gonna watch the pay-per-view. And I feel like if you put Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson on regular TV, that'll draw people to the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a huge Kenny Omega fan and I'm a huge Bryan Danielson fan, and I love that I got to see them on a regular TV type shit, you know?
Yeah,
I'm about to say I don't want to give Tony Khan hate for putting it on TV because ultimately I think it was brilliant only because that match had to happen.
Yeah.
Had to happen, right?
Yes.
It
was a good match.
It was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And then especially I think it was more so. See, I'm about to get real deep into their history and whatnot, but especially with. I'm not even gonna talk about Kenny Omega at that point in time because at that point in time we weren't really big on his injuries. We knew he was hurt, all that. Yeah. But Bryan Danielson, you got to get the big match out of him. I feel like now. That's just me. That's just me though. But that's why at that point it's just like, what's the next big show, regardless if it's pay-per-view or not. I kind of think that's what Tony Khan was kind of the next big show. They get it, whatever it is.
Bryan Danielson also, I feel like he's kind of on borrowed time. Not that he's just constantly hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's always something going on with him. And that's because he goes all in, no pun intended, which is great, or all out, whatever, which is great. But I think the Miz said it best. Like Miz has been in constantly. Miz has been consistent. And remember that promo that he shot at him and it was a little, you could tell there was some realness in it. Yeah. Like, why? Just because he's not jumping off a cage or doing crazy shit. But Miz is still he's a great character. He's a great worker. He's a phenomenal heel. And I feel like that has given him more time than, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, who does.
And the Miz is older than Bryan Danielson, and I think the Miz still got another 5 years left in him. But I don't know about Bryan Danielson.
He got another 10, bro. The Miz. Yeah.
And Bryan Danielson, he probably got at least two years left in him. And they're around the same age. Two healthy years, yeah. I think he's gonna do the Ric Flair, bro. Like he's gonna go until he can't go anymore, bro.
Yep. 100%.
I respect that. And honestly, that's why I love The Miz and I love Daniel Bryan. Whether I don't know if they probably hate each other's guts and think each other sucks, right? But they're both such phenomenal workers, such passionate people. They're just two different sides of the same coin, bro. Yeah. So I personally love them both, even if they hate each other. That's your business.
That's your business.
One thing that did catch my eye about this episode, of what I did watch, because I didn't watch all of it, but I did see that they're kind of playing into with the trios title. They had a little backstage segment with the Young Bucks and Hangman. Man. Hangman looks like they're diving back into that story. I think that's gonna be interesting. What's up,
Why,
Steven? What's up?
bro? Why so many titles?
Okay, yeah, okay, I get the
Too
title
many
thing, but
titles. In first of all, there's no point of a trios title. There's really no point. Like
Why?
we have seen so many. When you're in a faction, there's always going to be like. I don't think there should be a trios just because it's not a lot of factions in wrestling for you to have a trios belt. It's not necessary.
I can see that. I see where you're coming from. I think maybe doing the what's the I forgot what it's called, but it's the rule. The New Day did it
no Freebird
where
rule,
where
rule.
yeah, the Freebird rule. I think that is a better. You don't have to make 3 belts a trios title when you could just have a Freebird rule and have 3 or a faction kind of like just defend those tag team championships. Because which kind of made me think, imagine Evolution used the Freebird rule and got the tag championships. That's some fantasy booking right there.
That would have been some heat right
No, that
there.
would be crazy. I'm not mad about the trios titles.
They look fire though. I give them that.
I do like the way they look. I do like the
just-
design. I do.
Steven, I just understand what you're saying. Like, if everyone's a champion, then no one's a champion. So I
It brings lesser value to all that.
I get that. I get that. And you know what? I think they should. It's like with, you know how AEW has the TBS championship for Jade Cargill? I think WWE should have a mid-card championship for the females. Like, instead of making another tag team champion, let's just focus on, you got the top card, the mid-card, and the low card. I think every card, every level should have a championship. Just keep it simple.
I do think if they're gonna do that many belts, they eventually gonna find themselves in a spot where they gotta consider like a brand split or something, because a lot of people, a lot of belts.
Yeah, you can't have too many belts. I say, maybe 3 belts. Because remember, back in the day, you had the European Championship, you had the Cruiserweight Championship, you had the United States. That's why they started getting rid of these things. But it's one of those things, like Steven, I feel you 100%. You don't need that many champions,
And I think with the he said something about the tag team champions. I think what they should do is unify the women's tag team championship with the NXT championship, unify them, and basically only one tag team for the women's belt.
Bouncing back and
forth. They can bounce through all the brands, and then you can split them into you can split a title into the mid card for SmackDown, Raw, or just one if they're going to end the brand split.
I think that's a good thing because Triple H is head of creative now. So I don't see that, and NXT is his baby. So I foresee coming up Triple H meshing NXT, Raw, and SmackDown, because NXT is developmental, but it doesn't have to be developmental.
Their brand.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if it has because Raw, SmackDown, sports entertainment, NXT is more of the wrestling, real wrestling, passionate wrestling type shit. So maybe if that could be a fresh thing for us, to mix it in and get real wrestling matches in NXT.
Yeah, I honestly thought they used to do that before this whole shenanigans with the tag titles over there at WWE is going on. But I thought they used to bounce around. Maybe I was wrong. Or maybe
they were doing that during the pandemic.
And Raw.
I remember Sasha and Bayley were like down in NXT during the pandemic.
Yeah, I could have maybe. Yeah, because. But again, I don't know how often they did that bouncing around. So I don't know if it was prominent or not. But
it was decent.
Yeah,
TV,
that's a whole nother conversation. The trios titles, I'm gonna just hit on that real quick. The trios titles, I mean, there's a lot of titles in AEW. Well, I feel like, there's a lot. There's a lot now. I was actually surprised that they announced the AEW trios titles, because them bringing back the 6-man in the Ring of Honor, I thought they were just gonna settle with that. I thought they were just gonna settle with that.
Yeah.
Now they're adding that cool belt design. The belt looks nice, but I do see what Steven's saying with too many belts, and I do agree. If everyone's champion, no one's champion. But I like to see where it goes first, especially with AEW. I like to see where it goes first, and then I can kind of. If we have Young Bucks and Hangman, I'm cool with that. If we have Young Bucks, or if this is somehow a pawn to get Kenny Omega back, I am all for it. So
story's gonna be good.
To me, bro, Kenny Omega, I'm such a huge Kenny Omega fan. I think the first time I heard him I heard of him was because of Chris Jericho when they were going through their beef in New Japan. Was it? It was New Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like kind of Googled Kenny Omega, and then the next thing that pops up is the wrestling match with the 7-year-old girl, and I'm like, this. Like, and it's just like I'm a huge Kenny fan, and honestly, I think if I had one wrestling wish, it would be Kenny Omega as Universal Champion. I don't care how you get there.
Whoa.
Just
Whoa.
yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to beat the tribal chief for that first.
I know, and I love my tribal chief, and I respect my tribal chief. So maybe my tribal chief could take a vacation, so that way I don't have to pick and choose.
Hey, real quick, we got John Boy in the chat, and
My
Don,
man,
You.
and Zay,
My-
and
and
that
Zay,
wrestling lady, yeah, and that wrestling. Lady.
yo, that wrestling
Hey.
lady, Racy, she's a good man. She has such a pure heart. But Zay, I love that kid, man.
Bro, he's-
Good kid,
It's funny
and of
dude.
course Johnny,
Roman
John
Reigns'
B.
biggest
Boy.
fan.
Oh yeah, and Johnny's like my distant lover, man. I love that dude. He's a good guy.
Oh man.
No, but I can't have Kenny Omega going to WWE. He has to be in AEW for lifer. That I
No
can't,
way,
I can't see
dude.
it. I can't see it.
No,
I
I
don't
don't see
want
it.
that.
I don't
I'm
see
gonna
it.
be honest. I don't want to. I don't want it. I
You
don't.
don't.
think
I
it
mean, I
might
wouldn't say I don't
happen.
want
I
it, but I
think
don't
now.
see it.
Come on.
I don't want it.
No, don't think-
I'm gonna be
Triple H
honest.
is
I'm gonna be
not
honest.
either.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be.
I
I'm gonna be
got it
honest.
though. Why? I feel like if this man could win a championship, he can go on an expedition of gold, and he can go ahead and win the WWE championship. Then the
Tell me
Universal
Omega and
Championship.
Rollins doesn't sound fire.
What?
Styles
Okay,
and
I mean,
Styles
it's
and
crazy.
Rollins sound
No,
fire.
okay.
Okay. Here's
Mini
some.
dream matches.
Hold on. Here's some fantasy booking for you. WrestleMania. What are we on?
39.
39.
39? Okay, so let's go WrestleMania 42. All right. Now you got on one corner Cody Rhodes, on the other Seth Rollins, the Tribal Chief, and Kenny Omega. Fatal 4-way, fucking Universal.
That's a topic right there.
Yeah,
So
I just-
Roman Reigns
I
can
can see
stack
that.
Kenny Omega.
Stack all three of us.
No, dude, that
that
would be
fire.
fire.
That would
Oh,
be-
man.
that would be
The-
fire.
the-
Wrestling
the-
has more than one royal family. Yeah, nah, that would be crazy. I booked that shit.
No,
So
I think Kenny might come to WWE. I think it's a powerful just because now Triple H is running things a little bit.
Kenny Omega, number 30 in the Royal Rumble.
I don't want to. I'm not trying.
Come
I'm not
on now.
I think Triple H will book Kenny Omega actually really well if you were.
Absolutely. Triple H has a more. That's one thing. First of all, so much respect to Vince McMahon as far as wrestling goes, right? But I think Triple H will make a positive change because Triple H is more with the times. He's younger. He's willing to listen more. He's not as worn out. You know, he's not as stubborn. You know, Vince McMahon is one stubborn fucking goat, man. Like,
I mean, can you blame him though? Like,
No,
we-
not at all.
He has
That's
to, if it ain't broke, don't fix
not
it.
at all.
himself,
That's
man.
his baby. First of all, with everybody everyone, and I say this on every time I get on somebody's podcast, people will complain every week, every day, complain, then tune right in.
Mhm.
And no one will just enjoy the fucking product. And for me, that's like, just enjoy it, bro. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
So there's some people out there that just watch it just for the fun of complaining.
Live to complain, bro.
Twitter.
Live to
I
complain.
don't know why.
Yeah. Live
I don't
to
like to complain, but I will complain. I'm not gonna lie. I will. Complain.
No,
Like, if it's
no, I have
necessary.
I have my gripes, but if you look through my content, I don't think ever, but I'll say very rarely will you see fucking SmackDown sucked yesterday, Raw sucked yesterday. I'll just keep my mouth shut, bro. If I don't like it, I change the channel, you know? Cody said it best. Cody Rhodes said you don't have to hate watch it. Just change the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm about to say, we're talking about Summerslam. Y'all talking about Dynamite. I don't know.
Oh, I think
Y'all heard my feelings about Dynamite. The Tony Khan slander was crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that Tony Khan.
I think that's just, bro.
That's a whole nother
The
subject.
stuff that he does, I think he really wants to be Vince McMahon. Like I really,
Well,
think he, bro,
if
it's
you're-
crazy to me. It's
But
crazy.
if you're
that he-
in that profession, if you are booking, who wouldn't want to be worth 1 point some billion, maybe even way more now. Actually,
Facts.
it's probably way more.
Facts, bro.
That's the goal. That's the gold standard almost. Other than his allegations and all that stuff aside, That's like the gold standard. So, I mean,
There's no
Did you see
problem with
Tony
that,
Khan?
but, like, he be
Did you see
writing Vince
tweet?
though? It's too much. Like,
Yo,
Right,
and I
it's
was just gonna say that.
crazy.
Did you see Tony Khan's tweet like after Vince retired? Like, bro,
I
just
am
relax.
yes, meat rock,
Take
bro.
it easy. Take it easy, Tony. But I think Tony has Asperger's, bro, because he just does some
That's
awkward
crazy.
shit all the time.
that's crazy.
I don't hate him, but he does awkward stuff all the time.
That's
But it is what it is.
Oh,
that's crazy.
you know, I think that Tony Khan slander, that's a whole nother episode we can get into. Definitely.
Yeah.
I could sing it Tony Khan.
I want to be in that
But,
one. Put me in that one,
I
please.
got you. But let's talk a little bit about SummerSlam. You know, that's this weekend, and as I'm pretty sure the card's not going to change too much. I mean, maybe. Well, I guess we'll start with the big news that came out today. I don't know if it's. I forgot what the injury was, but Riddle is out and they're postponing. But
Yeah, I saw
leave
that.
Rollins off the card. But you know, Rollins made a tweet basically saying that if you paid for a ticket, I'm sorry. I was trying. He even said he was like, I've been fighting for months to get on this card. And he's basically apologizing, and then Triple H said, "I hear you." So it looks like they might do something. What do y'all think they're gonna do with Rollins?
Well, Rollins, I think Rollins is too big of a star for you to leave out on a big stadium match like SummerSlam. I think they're just going to do what they did with at WrestleMania, just have like a surprise opponent. Maybe AJ Styles, since he's not on the card either. I just don't see them just leaving Seth Rollins out. He's one of your top stars, not to have him on SummerSlam. It'll be different if it's like a smaller pay-per-view, but SummerSlam, a stadium show at that, they're going to do something. Just knowing
People
Triple H.
legitimately, Seth Rollins is a seat filler. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
you know what? I'm not his current gimmick, quotations. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I am not. But you can't deny his mic work. You can't deny his ring work. Like, I love to see Seth Rollins, bro. The man, he can have the shittiest gimmick and somehow he'll make it work. It's almost like Cody with Stardust, bro. Like, it's just like, no matter the gimmick, Seth Rollins puts in the work, and he's so good in the ring. It's kind of like with Finn Balor. No matter how much they're misusing him, Finn always puts in good work, so you want to see him.
Free Finn.
Yeah, free my man, Finn.
Free Finn.
Wait,
Hey,
where you want him to go?
Total stable now.
let me ask you something, Ramondo.
Yeah,
Okay, so I know you went, because I remember I went to Raw the 16th. You went to the one in San Diego, right?
yeah.
What
I
was
went
the-
to July 4th.
What was the reaction when Judgment Day came out in San Diego?
It wasn't. It was regular. It wasn't like, obviously it wasn't quiet, but it wasn't. If Edge would have been there, it would have been much larger pop, I guess you could say.
Because
You can see the difference. They were treated like just a regular tag team, like a not that important tag team. But that show was also a holiday show, so it kind of felt like a filler episode.
I went to the Raw the next week after, and it was in San Antonio here, and what's it called? Yeah, the Judgment Day music hit, and out comes. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it felt like if you even like drop a pin and no one, you would be able to hear that.
Really?
It was like dead quiet.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what it was.
Wow.
I was like, and me and my brother like the only ones clapping. We're like, come on.
Well, it's because you kind of, with Edge leaving, everyone knows that there's something behind the scenes for them to turn on Edge so quick. That doesn't just happen for no reason. So I think the fans know that there is some, whether it's a different disagreement or creative differences or something like that, there's something there and people can feel it. And for Edge to come in and automatically just go right to leading it, plus Rhea Ripley was gone too, so it's just basically Edge and Damian Priest just teaming up.
I don't think it was a bad idea doing the breakup. Having Finn doing that, but the problem is they didn't.
You liked it?
I liked it, but I think where they messed up is they didn't do anything to like capitalize off of that. All they did was they just threw Rhea into a title match, and then she got hurt, so down with the Judgment Day as well.
Right.
But
I think the Judgment Day got potential. I think
they did. Man.
everything has been stacked against them or whatever like that in certain cases. I think they could be a big thing. If Triple H can book it right, I think they could be a big thing.
That's what he's here for, right? He's here to, get everything.
Everything correct.
Fix a lot that Vince kind of I'm telling you, Vince almost lost me, man. Vince almost lost me again, man. I'm not gonna lie. He almost lost me again,
But
man.
I heard that the reason why they kicked Edge out was I think he didn't want to go with the supernatural
Yeah,
gimmick or
it was
whatever.
gonna go supernatural. But what if they have like a
Right. He didn't want to do it. And I think right now is not the time to go supernatural. I think
I don't think I don't think the crowd is gonna like. I don't think
no. I think the
that
days
can
of
work,
the
though.
Undertaker fucking raising his hand and lightning coming down is I think those days are over, man.
I also feel like it really depends on who's doing it. I don't think I don't think it would work. I really don't. I don't.
I think it could work if they bring out Demon Finn Balor. If they can bring out
Yes.
maybe Demon Finn Balor.
Yes.
I think people will probably gravitate towards it more, or like the Fiend or someone like that. I think they need someone that's already established in that supernatural to really establish the judges to really be successful.
Yes.
I just don't know how much character the Demon Finn Balor has to lead a faction. Because like when he's the demon, like how much other than he's really hard to beat in that state. That's probably where it gets then because you can't lead it with because he doesn't talk, right? So
yeah.
So I don't know. That's probably why they, I don't know. That's just me thinking. I don't think that would. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not big on that. But as far as because back to just kind of backtrack, Seth Rollins being left off and all that, I just.
If there's a mystery opponent, who do y'all think is going to be?
I mean, I like AJ Styles. That was a good pick because he's not on the card yet. But then I don't know why I feel like he's gonna be in that Logan Paul thing eventually. I don't know.
You think so?
I don't know why I feel like they're gonna ease him in there somehow.
Really?
Because someone has a team with Logan. Because I feel like Ciampa and Miz are gonna be a tag team. They're gonna do a tag team match at some other show, whatever Logan's contract says. And Logan obviously gonna need a partner. Who was the guy that said, "Hey man, I like what you're doing"? It was AJ Styles, So I don't know. But I think Logan and AJ is gonna team up somehow, somewhere. But I wouldn't mind seeing him go against Rollins. But then I also said all of this that Rollins is doing, the 3 losses to Cody, him being left off. I think Triple H has big plans for Seth. That's what I think. I think he's gonna get a great payoff. And I think if it's not Roman he's dethroning, he will be. Well, nah, it would have to be. Whatever happens after SummerSlam, he will be the next one to hold those belts, however they have it, unified or not. I said it on TikTok, but I stand by that one. I think that's
fair.
Yeah.
I like that.
So he's going through a lot right now. Well, in terms of kayfabe, he's going through a lot right now.
So I do want to run through the card a little bit and just see what y'all think's gonna happen. Let's start with the main event. How do y'all feel about Roman and Brock?
We'll start.
For some reason, I think Brock going to win. I think he's going to win for Theory to cash in. But realistically, I think Roman will retain. But I think Theory will come out and hesitate to cash in. And then I think Roman would do a promo like he did on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Theory, and Theory decides not to cash in at that moment.
Yeah, and then wait for. So honestly, you know how people are upset that it's Roman and Brock again? Personally, this is a new Roman Reigns, and this is a new Brock Lesnar. It's a Brock Lesnar like we haven't seen, just a cowboy Brock. I love watching Brock throw anybody around, and it's a new Roman. So I feel like this is 2 completely different characters.
What if they throw Seth in that main event?
I feel like that's a possibility as well.
What if they throw Seth in that main event?
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just because one of the reasons why they even wanted Brock versus Roman at SummerSlam, 1 is because Randy got hurt, and 2, they needed someone to sell out the stadium, and it just doesn't make sense for you just to add Theory into a triple threat. There's no build. I don't think it's necessary.
Wait, but the Seth and because that would I get it, because if they just ride on that Shield Seth and Roman back in the day thing again,
I think it should be a separate feud.
I gotcha. Okay, I can see that. That makes sense. I mean, you never know. Triple H said, "I hear you, man."
Hey, but that the main event it's going to be a banger, but I'm gonna need to see some blood. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna definitely need to see
For
some
sure.
blood or something epic, just because it's TV-14, so I'm gonna need to see it to get a little graphic a little bit. I ain't gonna watch it.
I need that. I'm not gonna lie. It needs to be better than what they did at Mania. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, that Mania match. I heard the match actually ended early. I think Roman was hurt or whatever
Roman
like that.
shoulder or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but that match was kind of ass. It was already starting off ass. I don't think it was gonna get finger.
They were spamming finishers from before he hurt his shoulder. On God.
Yeah,
They had
that
weird
Mania was
minute.
definitely a letdown. Not the card, but that main event was a letdown. I thought they was gonna go all out, tables, everything. It was kind of alright, bro.
Yeah,
I
got
stayed
you.
up for no reason. I could have just went to sleep. I didn't need to sleep.
But I'm this is my rough prediction. This isn't final. I'm probably gonna make a TikTok about my predictions a little
same.
closer to the show. But I'm gonna just go on a limb and say Brock somehow pulls this one off. Because I don't know why, but unless they were just doing that to distract us, they want to bring up Theory and Brock little interactions almost every time Brock is there for no reason, right? So maybe that's the guy that they'll let Theory pin, and because unless Roman is untouchable, but then again he would have to lose them last man standing. That's tough.
I think pinning Brock, not just now, but I think if you have an opportunity to pin Brock and be champion, I think that would elevate you way higher than if you would have pinned Roman. But at this moment right now, the way Roman is like the top guy, I think pinning Roman will probably put you over, but I still think Brock will probably put Theory way over, just because Brock has this character of like, it's hard to beat him, but he's kind of unbeatable at the same time, and this is a guy that beat the Undertaker. So
yeah, that's crazy.
So like Brock, he's just a different breed. I think they will probably have him. Let's say if they do want Theory to be champion by the end of SummerSlam, I think they would have him pin Brock just to keep Roman somehow protected and still can go with the tribal chief.
Yeah, they're still trying. I still think they're trying to get that Rock and Roman Mania match with or without the titles. I don't think they need the titles, but I think that's the end goal. Regardless of how they get there, I think that's still the end goal. So,
Yeah.
But again, if you don't want Roman, pinned by a Theory before that, then I think this is honestly the best time. Because if it wasn't here, then I wouldn't be surprised if I picked Drew, at Clash of Castle, So I think his time was coming. And they're just trying to figure out how to do it,
Yeah, because I don't know if y'all noticed on SmackDown, but when it's Drew versus Sheamus, when they were feuding, when they had announced that would be Drew versus Roman for the Undisputed title, they said Roman, but now it's just for the Undisputed title, which indicates me that I don't think Roman is walking the Clash of Castle as Undisputed.
Yeah,
champion.
I think
that's just something I noticed.
I do think his time is coming. It was a great run. I do think his time is coming, though.
Just because, especially if they wouldn't set up The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 39. So
yeah,
I do think somehow Roman's gonna walk out with the titles, but if I want to put out a bold prediction, I feel like they're doing this Theory versus everybody for a reason. So my bold prediction for the night is Brock and Roman will be going. Brock and Roman will be going crazy, and out comes Theory. He's just gonna wait, and then all these people are just gonna try to stop him. They're gonna get involved, and they're gonna cause some mayhem. And by the end of the night, I feel like Theory is gonna end up with the titles. But that's my bold prediction. But realistically, I do think Roman's gonna hold on to those titles.
yeah,
But then
I
again,
think
Triple H is in charge though, so I don't. It's like a whole new thing.
He
I don't know what
probably,
he
wants to take. He probably wants champion. I think he probably wants Roman to be champion, but he probably wants to take at least one of the titles to get back on Raw.
I do, yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah. Yeah.
I did see something that they're gonna make a big creative splash. That's what the quote was for SummerSlam. So I feel like the biggest thing would probably be. I feel like it wouldn't be very creative to put the titles on Brock or keep them on Roman, because that's what we expect. So I feel there that
somehow
the title's
Seth
gonna end up
walks
on
out SummerSlam
Theory.
with the titles.
Or Seth too, maybe Seth. I don't know.
But
Someone say somehow he walks out with the titles, man.
But that's a
Somehow.
storyline right there too. I remember I stopped watching WWE during the pandemic, but I do remember Austin Theory was part of Seth faction with Buddy Murphy. That's a storyline that they can target right there if they want to put the titles and try to get Seth to be one of the champions.
It's crazy though, because after all of this, Bobby is gonna get done dirty at SummerSlam. I feel like I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm gonna have some tweets.
I think if Vince was booking it, I think Vince will literally have Theory walk out
with 3 titles.
as United with 3 titles.
And somehow keep the briefcase, and somehow still have the briefcase.
Undisputed
like,
United States WWE Universal Champion. That's crazy. And he'll still hold the briefcase.
Exactly.
And I think with Theory, when he wins the title, I think his title run, I think it's gonna be elite. Just because everyone is beefing at him, his title ring, if he does win at SummerSlam, I think his title ring is gonna be great.
And with him beefing with everybody, I feel like he's gonna have to defend the title like on TV a lot because he's
exactly something Roman.
I would like that. I would like that. So he's beefing with Madcap Moss.
Madcap is great.
Drew now for some reason.
Drew too. Oh god. Lashley, the Usos, the Street Profits. Yeah, it's like
everyone wants to smoke with that man. I don't know.
And AJ Styles. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's a hit out for Austin Theory. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Logan Paul's gonna get some next. He gonna,
But yeah, man. That's the main event. Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin. How do y'all excited at all for this match or not?
For some reason, I think they gonna put a banger. That's just.
I think they're gonna let Pat McAfee go. Like, I think they're gonna let him. Triple H is gonna let him go, and then we might see. I mean, Pat. It's a handful of matches for Pat, but Pat's gonna show us he can be a wrestler if he wants.
He really can, dog.
Yes.
I was shocked when I seen him at NXT. I'm like, damn, he's natural in that ring. He's really been natural.
He did a spot off the top rope. I said, they let him do that? Yeah, that's crazy. But nah, as far as the match goes, the build, I mean, they needed a brawl desperately because it feels personal. It feels personal, you know?
No, for sure.
Because I'm not gonna lie, they did kind of throw this out of nowhere. Because I don't really know what before this what those two had, but
I think in 2021, back when Corbin had his bum ass, his homeless.
Oh,
I love that gimmick.
Bro, bring back
so that gimmick.
That was the best Corbin. I don't care. I got you. Okay. Then I mean, again, the build it's entertaining because it's Pat McAfee. Whenever he gets a spotlight, he's gonna kill it.
Yeah, he gets a huge spot too.
Oh yeah. As far as the match goes, rough prediction real quick. Pat McAfee's been winning a lot and Baron's been losing a lot, so it might be a cheat victory, but I think Corbin. I think I'm going with Corbin.
I'm gonna go with Pat here. I think that pop that he had when he beat Theory at Mania, I think they want that again. I think Pat probably wins. Because, I mean, it's not going to hurt. It don't benefit or hurt Corbin if he wins or loses.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, yeah.
He's a guy that doesn't need to win a feud, and, you can still put him in certain spots. I can see Corbin winning 100%, but I'll go with Pat. Just because they tend to do that with... he's not really a celebrity because he's on TV all the time, but he's part-timing, I guess, in the ring. But I'm going to go Pat there.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby Lashley in Theory.
Oh, man.
This one I just don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't know either, just because I don't know the creative plan.
I feel like if Vince was still in charge, it would be Theory, but...
Lashley's my guy. It would be stupid for them to have Theory lose and then cashes in and then walks out with the belts. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, Lashley's my guy. You know?
I think Lashley... I think Lashley might win just because I think he can kind of put some prestige on that title. And yeah, I think even if he loses, I don't know if y'all remember, but WrestleMania 31, even though I think Seth should have beat Randy that year, Seth lost and still cashed in and still walked out as champion. So I don't think a loss.
It's not nothing they're not familiar with. So it does happen, but
I think the crowd will be a little. Damn, he lost and still got an opportunity.
Especially what happened at Money in the Bank. Yeah, people will be hot if it happened again.
I don't know. I did like Bobby Lashley's title run during the Thunderdome. I think they're going to give Bobby the win. I think he can go on a little bit of a run with that title compared to what Theory did. Because Theory, There, he was just having fun with that. I think he was his whole run with the U.S. title was him just bragging that he was the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just to have another milestone in WWE's books. That's it. That's all.
He's done that with everything. Now imagine if we give him the undisputed titles.
No, they can't. They can't. Because that would mean, I mean, I know it wasn't the same situation, the same titles or anything, but that means Randy loses that spot, I believe. Because wasn't he technically the youngest main champion?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think at 24, the same age as Theory.
Yeah, so I don't need that to happen. Randy's my guy as well. I'm about to say you finna hear my top 5 because we're talking about Lashley right now. We just briefly Randy. That's 2 of them. So
yeah, I think Bobby wins that.
I'm gonna say Bobby, but only because Ziggler's he's not on the card, so he's gonna.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about Ziggler too. Yeah, I think he might interfere with that. So I forgot about it.
So
yeah, that might be the way. So much just went through my head. I think Feld cashed in because of Ziggler.
I can see that as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that one. That one's because why else would he be popping up here and there? They have to make him do something big, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I just want to know where that's gonna go.
That would just be a waste of a Money in the Bank.
That would.
Because he wasn't even included. Like,
you're right. But again, Triple H is in there. We need a reset. It's a reset. Triple H is in there. You can't. It's a reset. It's a reset.
I felt like if Triple H was in charge, I felt like Riddle would have won that.
For sure.
Either him or Seth, for sure.
Sim or Seth. Yeah, Seth makes the most sense, but Riddle would have been cool too.
For the pop. Definitely for the pop.
Usos versus Street Profits with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee.
I'm gonna say it's hard for me to, especially since the whole hoopla of the last Money in the Bank. I should say, Money in the Bank with the shoulder thing it's hard for me to say that they're gonna lose, but I do see the Street Profits losing. I don't feel like. Well, no, I don't see that happen. Not yet. Yeah, not yet. I'm gonna go with that. I'm sticking with it. Not yet.
Dang, I feel like if they lose here, why did they get another title match? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as a story standpoint, though. But man, I feel like if they don't win here, they're splitting up.
I'm on the side of them splitting. I think Montez Ford is a star. I tweet it literally every time he's on my TV screen. Mm-hmm. I swear, Montez Ford is a star. I wouldn't mind a split.
A split. I think is going to come. I think if they lose.
Yeah.
I think if they lose, a split is coming, but I think they actually going to give this Street Profits a win on this one. I think it's the right.
I would
time.
love it. I would.
So,
but
with
just for the bloodline sake, I think they might give this a win.
I'm just throwing this out there with the, apparently WWE and Ric Flair in good regards now. Ric Flair's last match is the next night. Any chance they kind of do a little collab there or no? What do y'all think? Because Jeff Jarrett is the special guest referee.
I just think Jeff Jarrett is about his money. I just think he's in the right place at the right time. I don't think it's. I'm not. Nah, not yet. Triple H isn't doing any crossovers unless it's with a serious promotion.
Yeah. Okay.
AEW. That's another conversation. Dreams.
I'll go Street Profits here.
Okay.
I'm going Street Profits. I think that's going to be something that shocks a lot of people. And I think that can make the bloodline whole thing interesting too.
Yeah, what's going to happen after they have no belts? Yeah.
This is probably the match that has me the most nervous because I hope they do the right thing, and I think they will. Triple H, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey.
You gotta put Liv over. I feel like you have to put Liv over.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but let me Ronda winning. Please put the belt. Oh my god.
You don't like Liv?
No, I don't see that. I really don't. There's no hate against her. I just don't see the appeal. I don't really see.
But you want the belt on Ronda over Liv right now?
I ain't gonna lie. Her SmackDown title ring was not that bad. I think people just over exaggerate. It wasn't that bad. It was cool.
As bad as people say, but I still.
It was bad, but not the worst title ring of any SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not the worst.
Because Natalya was champion.
I'm not gonna say that.
Her title ring, this Natalya slander is crazy.
You like Natalya?
I don't know.
And Ronda Rousey?
I think he's underrated. No, I like Ronda. I've always liked Ronda since the UFC days. I thought.
Okay, yeah. I get that.
I don't know. Liv just not appealing to me, but just because now
But Natalia is.
Yes, I actually rather watch Natalia than Liv any day of the week.
Dang.
That's no slander to Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan is so. I don't know. It's something about her that just I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not trying to sit here and say like Liv Morgan is gonna be like a prestigious champion. We're gonna remember this reign, but just thinking about what WWE has just in that women's division, I mean, right now that other than Bianca, other than giving her both belts, Liv was the right choice, I think. And then it's kind of the cards that were dealt for WWE. Not saying because who knows what they would have done with Sasha and Naomi. They probably still would have been tag team champs doing.
Can y'all see them coming back? No.
Yes.
Yeah, I think with Triple H now at the helm.
If Triple H is worried
And
about
Loretta
anything
is gone,
else, Triple H is not worried about nothing else but bringing those two back first.
That should be his number one priority. Number one.
100%. Those two gotta come back. Especially looking at the SmackDown Women's division. And if we're sitting here talking about Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan as the champion, when they used to have a Sasha, a Naomi, a Bailey, you know what I'm saying? So
Bailey
Bailey
was a Naomi title run. Man.
Yo,
You said what?
Proper Naomi title run.
Facts.
Her
Bring
title
her the
run
glow title. That was hard.
Her title reign was corny too, but that's just me. I ain't enjoy it. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, no, okay.
What did you like about her title reign?
I know what I'm saying. It wasn't booked right. That's why I didn't like it. But I feel like she could be a good
I'm not
champion
gonna lie,
under the right
Steven,
booking.
I'm about to say, Steven, bro, you're right. I only liked the belt. I did. The belt caught every single time.
Hit her win at Mania 33, I think it was.
So yeah, because that was when I wasn't really tuned in, but I was still tapping back in.
I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of popping for her when she won. I was like, oh wow, because it was like, wow, a black lady won. Oh shit, I was gonna give her props for that.
That was literally me when Kofi Mania happened, because I was not watching it much at all. When that happened, I was not watching at all.
Again, I'm getting a lot. I'm not even gonna say nothing about the Kofi.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna just get some heat for it. I'm not.
It's a
gonna
great win,
no.
but a terrible title run. And it's not on him, obviously.
Thank you.
It's more than that, but.
Oh, okay. Well, I do want to hear this a little bit. Briefly touched on this. Could be a whole podcast episode, but I want to hear it.
Kofi Mania, the whole build up.
Don't say
was mid. It was mid. I'm telling you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I did pop when he won. Okay, I did pop because I did go to that WrestleMania. I did give him a little bit of pop, but the whole Kofi Mania thing was mid to me.
Professional hater, bro.
It was literally
I got
literally the best underdog story in WWE history. Daniel Bryan.
Whoa. Okay.
You don't think that was the best underdog story in history?
No.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan,
not Kofi. But just having the guy that was the main focus in that storyline do another one with Kofi as the underdog, bringing him up. That didn't touch you? That didn't touch you at all? No?
A little bit. It did a little bit. Because I'm trying. I did like Daniel Bryan just because his heel work was so amazing. But that whole Mania thing was so like, it didn't intrigue me. I was like, I guess.
You just don't.
I seen a lot of these, but his for some reason just didn't appeal to me.
I got you.
But I give him his win though. I give him his little flowers for me though.
Okay.
The match though. Even though I ain't like the whole thing, the match was my thing. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of my favorite matches of the night.
Okay.
Up next, my opinion is gonna be match of the night because they did it at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship.
If they don't squash Becky, if they don't squash her,
17 seconds.
They better squash her.
Triple H better squash, bro. It has to be a squash. Oh, I'm not gonna be satisfied. I'm like, nah, run it back, bro. It has to be a squash. It's only right.
Oh,
I think so.
I feel like it would be perfect for the whole Becky storyline. How she's just falling down.
Exactly. We can build her up again some other time.
You know what? I don't want for the story. I want her to lose until the Royal Rumble. That's fine.
Okay.
Like literally, because
Okay.
if Ronda does beat Liv, I feel like they're definitely going to Ronda Becky. So that's the perfect place.
I'm actually.
I like for the storyline. For the storyline, I would love that because Becky can make that work.
Yeah, and then plus, say Becky has to win because I'm not a fan of Ronda.
Ronda and Becky was going to main event WrestleMania 35, even though I don't think they should have ever main evented that WrestleMania. I think should have been Brock and Seth, but they can go back to that. They can be like, well, we never got our main event because Charlotte was at it, which I was so happy about. Wow, yes, Charlotte finally added. Thank God. And I still stand by it. Like she should have won both belts, but I think there's a storyline there. I think the match could definitely be a banger. And Bianca versus Becky, I ain't gonna lie. If it's not a squash, I'm gonna be pissed off. But I'm already pissed off because they running it back again. It's like Becky. My guy Theo said it perfectly too. Becky needs to take a step back from the title picture. She's been in the title picture
Charlotte.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. If I was CEO, I'm pushing Charlotte to the moon. I'm giving her every woman's.
She already has 13 title runs, man.
That's all she does on TV.
Great.
Whenever they bring her back, they just give her the title.
I don't think I've ever seen Charlotte without a belt, and that's kind of like,
bro. All
every
of
story
her matches
is about the title.
Facts.
I think the only time she wasn't was against Trish Stratus.
Yeah, that was the last time in 2019.
All her reigns been great except one reign I did not like but she only held the title for one day. And
was it that the SummerSlam last year or the Money event? There you go.
Yeah, and if she cashed, that's the only time. After that, Charlotte, all her reigns been elite to me. I don't care about the
in my opinion, she is the greatest women's wrestler of all
13.
time. But like,
Yeah,
it's being a little too much though.
I ain't gonna lie. I can admit there's been times where I'm like, all right, that Charlotte. Even though I was happy actually won it because I'm like, all right, yes, we're getting another Charlotte run. When it was like Asuka versus Charlotte, I was like, no, Asuka should have won that. Give Asuka that belt at that moment. So there's opportunities. I'm a huge Charlotte fanboy. I ain't gonna lie. I can admit where there's times where Charlotte should have either dropped the belt or should have never won the belt.
Donnie said, "Bro, what? Becky needs to step away from the title picture, but Charlotte doesn't. But Charlotte gets pushed."
That is crazy. That is crazy.
I do have a little hate for Becky, but even to an extent, Charlotte do need to step away. I think at this moment, she needs to start elevating younger talent on the roster. I think this is the perfect opportunity to, after her whole feud with Ronda. They both do, but I'd rather see a Charlotte reign than Becky. That's the only reason why.
But who do y'all say wins here?
Honestly, I say Ronda. I think Ronda. Just because I heard Charlotte
Becky
coming back.
Becky.
Becky. I think Bianca will win. I don't think they're gonna take the title for just yet.
I think
her title reign is kind of mid though.
I got you. I think Bianca's gonna win, regardless of how they do it. But I think they need to do a squash, or this is yes, it's only right and especially for them to do it again. There should be a reason behind it, so it better be the squash.
I think that can actually finally close the chapter Bianca and Becky. It's been going on for a year, and I think they need to just put a stand to it and move on to someone else.
Bring us Asuka again. Give her just a one-on-one with Bianca, please.
Yes. I was so pissed off when they added Becky to the Hell of
Summer. That was unnecessary.
I'll go Bianca. I don't know if it would be cool if it was a squash. I don't think it will be though. But yeah, Bianca wins. Logan Paul versus The Miz.
They're gonna give it to The Miz. I'm actually really interested. I actually really like the feud.
You said they're not gonna make a celebrity lose first match.
They're never going to do that.
Yeah, Logan Paul, and I'm pretty confident Logan Paul has to win.
But
he did technically have his first match already though.
You're right. WrestleMania, you're right. Yeah, that's on me. You're right. Well, I mean, but this
and
is
I mean, Pat McAfee's on the card too. But then again, at Mania, Knoxville, McAfee and Logan all won. So
whatever's the celebrities, they're going to win.
But wait, I do have Pat losing. So I mean, I think Logan would win. They can't have because if it just to make sense with my predictions.
Yeah, I think Logan wins. I ain't gonna lie. I think he gonna put on a banger too. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Even though The Miz will have the carry.
Logan can go. I think so. Yeah. I think he's pretty good for.
It's gonna show how good Logan is, but it's also gonna show how really good Miz is as an in-ring worker.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I think ever since that Bad Bunny match, Logan, bro, I was like, yo, The Miz can literally have a match right now.
If you need to carry someone in a match just to get them through the show, The Miz is your guy.
The Miz is your guy, definitely for sure.
Miz is your guy.
Steven be talking crazy at times. All right, Donnie, I'm not, bro. I'm not. Chill. Logan, I think definitely good for him.
I had no idea this was on the card. The Mysterios versus the Judgment Day in a no disqualification tag team match.
You didn't.
Again?
Oh, I didn't know.
I've
it was
seen
no
that.
I didn't know it was no DQ.
Oh, no DQ? We just seen that match on Monday.
Heel turn here? Or no?
Everything's not gonna change now.
I
Everything.
ain't gonna
Edge.
lie. Edge might return, but I think I'm gonna just give it to the Mysterios. No, I'm gonna give it to the Judgment Day. I think the Judgment Day been losing a little bit too much. I think I'm gonna give them the win, and I think that could be an opportunity for Dominic to turn heel too. Just saying.
Oh snap! My thing about to die. Nah, but I'm not gonna lie. My device I'm using is at 5%. But nah, I'm gonna say if it dies, I'm gonna switch to my phone. No trip. But well, which way am I going? I'm about to say I just had a brain fart. What was that?
Mysterios versus Judgment Day.
Oh yeah, I think the Judgment Day might get the win. Judgment Day might get the win. My thing geeking. Judgment Day might get the win, but I do think we get to see Edge finally come back and make his appearance and set that up starting. But I do think Judgment Day get the win because I think, yes, it was Ray's anniversary as well, but I also think that's why they gave him the win on Monday.
Yeah,
I think if they wanted to make it interesting, they should have added the Mysterio's daughter and Rhea Ripley to the match.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
Make it a 3-way match. That would have been lit.
Is she training? She's training, right?
I thought she was.
I thought she was, because she was in the whole storyline with Buddy.
I thought she was during the pandemic, but I hadn't heard anything since then, though, to be honest with you.
Probably not looking too hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that all the stuff?
That's SummerSlam.
That's SummerSlam.
Unless they add that's 8 matches. Unless they add Rollins, it's gonna stick to 8.
I think this will go to 9. Only because I think it has Sensei and Gunther for the IC title.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, SmackDown. We still got SmackDown.
Yep. But I got Gunther Walter retaining.
Walter.
I got Gunther. This whole SummerSlam kind of feel.
It don't feel. I've been talking about. I'm not too excited.
I think the Brock versus Roman last man standing match is kind of carrying the card a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for that.
Because I was excited for last year.
Do y'all think this is actually the last time?
That's gonna be.
No. It's because it makes way too much money for them to just stop it. We're going to see it.
Right now, it's the biggest money match or whatever, which is it's kind of sad because no one. I don't want to say no one, but like the hardcore fans don't really want to see it again. But
I feel like if they just give someone a shot, because they're not trying to build nobody. Obviously, they've proven to us plenty of times they're not trying to. So just to give someone a shot, just put someone in there. I think that's what they do, but they just gonna have to put someone in there because they're not trying to build nobody. So just force us to watch them be great. That's really what it is with WWE. I feel like,
but eventually, I ain't gonna lie. Eventually, it will catch up to WWE. Because Brock can always say at any moment, "I'm done." And then now, who do you have outside of Roman? I mean, Seth is good and all, but Seth, in terms of, I think as wrestling fans, we think he can sell out a stadium, but in terms of WWE eyes, in terms of marketing and bringing in money, they don't see that Seth can do that.
See, that's why I have a hard time thinking that they're really gonna have Theory win the title.
No. I ain't gonna lie. I think Theory is going to get to if they have that Theory and Cena at Mania, I think that's when we're going to see Theory at that main event. I think he's a guy that can go out and just main event WrestleMania or any pay-per-view. He has everything you can want in a wrestler. I think he'll be the next guy. Him, like if there's a 4 horsemen, I think it'll be him, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes. And I'm throwing Grayson Waller in there too. I think.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of Carmelo. I've seen a lot of Braun Breaker. The one I haven't really got my eye on is Grayson Waller. So like, what's his whole thing?
Grayson Waller go crazy too. He's an incredible heel. I ain't gonna lie. When he attacked Johnny Gargano at NXT, he probably was the biggest heel in wrestling. I ain't gonna lie. Like that man
at that moment
genuinely was getting boos. I'm like, yo. His in-ring work is great. his mic work is actually really good. He's I think he reminds me of the Miz. He's just such a natural heel, like a douchebag that no one likes. I think that's kind of my comparison from him is the Miz, minus the mic work a little bit. I heard some comparison with him and Randy, but I don't really see it.
Oh dang.
Yo, chill on. Chill.
They say just because they kind of had the look in that heel work.
Okay.
But I think it's more than this though. The Grayson Waller is gonna be great though. Especially Triple H is the one building him up. He's gonna be good.
All right. Well,
I'm about to say Grayson Waller is the one. Yeah, Grayson Waller is the one that do all the crazy spots. So he's like if the Miz did crazy spots, literally.
Cause like
only
thing I've seen about Grayson Waller is with that thing he did with like Styles on Raw for a little bit, but they didn't really give any story to it. So
I don't know why they didn't let that happen.
Yeah,
that kind of elevated, that kind of hit Grayson Waller a bit over.
Because most of it was on NXT, right? Because it was only one time Waller appeared on Raw, I think.
Yeah, it was. I think it was on pay-per-view.
It was. I mean, congrats to Waller. Yeah, he held his own in that one. I thought AJ Styles was gonna watch him every single time they were doing the pro because they took it to Twitter. They were everywhere. It was cool though. It was nice shit.
Yeah, but yeah, that's SummerSlam. Overall, y'all, you're feeling like Reigns and Lesnar's going to carry?
For sure. I ain't gonna lie. I think they definitely will. Especially if the match is like brutal and you're just beating the hell out of each other. I think it will. But if it's like WrestleMania, oh my god.
That's probably my biggest worry. If they're just spamming finishers, I'm the wrestling fan. Spamming finishers is cool, not really, but it's like, I don't know. It's just a certain way you got to do it for it to make sense. Because again, spamming finishers, that's not going to do it for me this time around. I need to see them go bell to bell. I need to see 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I need to see a banger, a classic.
And it's a last man standing match, so you have to go all out. But
exactly.
I don't know. They need to go all out, or I think people are legitimately going to stop investing into the Brock moment.
This is the way they're advertising it. This should be it. The way they're talking, the way Paul Heyman is saying it, this should be it. And sounds like Brock is done after this. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know if y'all been noticing.
He has to do he has to go through his contract with like those last few matches. Right. I don't know how many.
That's where I think Theory comes in. That's when Theory comes in to finish out Brock. Brock can put him over, and that's it. See you later. You know.
I don't see them doing that, man. I don't know.
No, I would like that, but I don't see them put him over.
I know, but there's a difference though.
I need Brock to keep fighting up until Mania. I want to see Bobby versus Brock at Mania.
I do need them to run that back. They do need to run that back.
I don't really care if Brock want to leave. I'm alright, bro. I got my Bobby versus Brock. I'm good now.
You're right. That is what we need. We need a Bobby and Brock.
Because that Royal Rumble that wasn't it.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I was so disappointed. I was like, I already got excited. I'm like, yo, if Bobby can make Brock tap right here,
bro. Man, I can't.
I don't think anyone
started, man.
I don't think anyone has ever made Brock tap. From my knowledge, I don't think he's ever tapped out from any
not in this era of his run, but like the only one I can think of is Angle. Angle made him tap.
Okay. I'm gonna say, but that list of people who pinned him, even pinned him, just beat him in general is kind of. You'll see a few names a few times. It's very short. It's not a big list.
Reigns, Rollins.
Literally, it's a very small list.
I think Taker did. I think it was at SummerSlam.
I think Triple H. I don't know if he escaped the cage when they had a cage match and he won. I don't know if he escaped it or pinned him.
Oh yeah, Triple H pinned him at WrestleMania 29.
That's right.
Hyped too.
And Cena pinned him too.
Of course, Super Cena had to pin him. Super Cena, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that was SummerSlam. We talked a little bit about everything. Talked about Dynamite.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way so we don't hold everybody all night.
I
turned off my light. I'm out there. Obviously, my light is gave up on me. Hold on.
I got a flight tomorrow too for vacation.
Oh, okay.
I should be sleeping,
okay.
Oh, my thing really went out.
Oh, dang. When you get in the outro, so you can get these guys some rest. And then, Steven, you want to start?
Wait, what are we doing?
Oh, like you
outro?
plug and all that. Yeah.
Y'all can find me anywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at Steven Sports Studios. On Instagram, it's Steven Sports __ Studios. But everywhere else is just Steven Sports Studios. I go crazy on TikTok a lot. If that's where y'all go really go catch me active. But I do post a lot of YouTube videos, so I can catch me.
All right. I'm gonna have to check out the YouTube side, man.
No, for
sure. Tommy Impact, new to this. Tommy Impact on literally everything. Type that into any search bar, you're probably gonna see something that I created. But yeah, it was an honor being on here. Hopefully I'll be back. It was fun. But yeah. It was fun. Sure.
Definitely have y'all back on. I need to get Donnie on with y'all, especially because of Steven. I know they were going.
We need another episode. I got some hot takes.
Bro, Donnie, if you watching this, bro, you might hate me, but I stood up for you when I said Liv Maggie was a bank, bro. Come on, don't do me like that.
It's not, bro. Stop lying. But yeah, man. I'm the Wrestlespot. Find me on everything at Wrestlespot or at the Wrestlespot. Podcast, TikTok, YouTube. But you can also find this podcast. You can find it in the live version that you're watching right now on YouTube, the audio version on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And you can find these guys. I put their ads also with Ramondo. Appreciate him joining on. He had some technical difficulties. Have all their TikTok ads in the bio, and you can find all their stuff there. Great creators. But this was episode 6. Have a good day, y'all.
Wait, can I say one more thing?
Oh, go ahead.
Kofi Mania was the most overrated storyline of all time. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
I think we found our next episode. All right.
And Charlotte Flair deserved every title ring she got.
Yeah, cut his mic.
Every.
This is crazy. No, that was